Hi guys, so before I take you over to the composting, I thought I'd tell you about this. This is made entirely from odds and sods and offcuts and bits of marine ply that were cut off, and it just goes to show you can make a bee habitat from anything, as long as you have the rough idea of what you're doing. I mean, it's not the prettiest one I've done, but it is entirely recycled. And I like these bits here I made for the big one, but decided not to put them in this hexagonal one, so they were just sitting in a burn bag for my neighbour's log fire. But you know, why waste them? So this was a bit of beech wood, and then these are all different lengths, which is something I wouldn't normally do for aesthetics, but it's fine. It does the job, and the bees will love it. It's got a nice big roof on it. It's just drying, so I've just given it a coat of paint, but yeah, it just goes to show you, right? So anyway, let's go and have a look at the compost. So the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed I've covered these pots with these plastic cloches, I guess you'd call them, and elastic bands. So I've joined a load of elastic bands together, all recycled. I find them where the postman drops them. Why do post people do that? They have a clump of letters, they take the elastic band off and they drop it. And the trouble is, birds think it's a worm, and loads of birds die because of that. So anyway, I pick those up and I recycle them. But before I do that, I take half of the compost out and I put all our kitchen waste in a good few weeks ahead of when I'm putting seedlings in. So I don't need to germinate seedlings in little pots or in a greenhouse or whatever, because I just put them straight in here and cover them up, and it seems to work like a treat. So you want to leave about a month between putting the compost in, and you know, I mean, the longer the better, but a month is the minimum. And I find when I've dug it up and tried it out, there's nothing left except for a tiny few bits of hard vegetation. But other than that, it goes quick, and they've all germinated, all these seeds. So here you can see I've got this horrible area, and it's full of old building waste. That's a joist hanger there that was in there. This is where the second half of the herb garden was, but I'm actually making 3 vegetable garden sections. So it's all sand because it's under a patio. It's all sand and horrible earth. So what I'm going to do, I've got the kitchen waste here. I've got some general purpose compost, non-peat based, obviously, because peat compost is terrible. And I also chuck in some sawdust only from old wood, where I'm cutting really old seasoned wood, because obviously you don't want any chemicals in there. So I mix all that in the bottom and then mix it in and cover it over. So let's do that now. So what I normally do, obviously I've been doing this in pots, which is relatively easy. This is full of stones and crap like this, so make sure you get rid of all that. And then what I do is I dig down about 6 inches, at least 6 inches, because you don't want the soil at the surface where the seeds are germinating to be too rich, which is what will happen. And by the same token, you want a nice mix of stuff. You can put tea bags, which are brilliant for nitrogen and stuff, but not too many tea bags, because they, along with citrus fruits, can turn the soil to acid. But what I'm going to do is, as I go on throughout the years, I'll condition this soil, and hopefully I'll find a nice happy medium. So just chuck all that in and spread it around, and then I'm going to put in, what should we do, a bit of sawdust on there. Sawdust, it gives the earth kind of fibrous, so it's good for oxygen and space, you know, so it's not too clumpy and clayey. You can use, I've seen people use recycled paper, as long as there's no dangerous chemicals in it. You can use cardboard or recycled paper, but let's just chuck a bit of compost. Once you've got it going in there, a few handfuls of compost, and then give it a good mix around. That's it. And this creates, in a few weeks' time, 99% of this will be completely gone. Obviously there are seeds in this because it's kitchen waste, and sometimes they will germinate, but depending if you want to spread them out, like things like your pepper here, I don't know if that will germinate, but it wouldn't be unusual to find that. So I'm going to put that a layer of compost on there, the rest of the sawdust, mix it all in again, get some earth in there, that is basically it. Once it's all mixed in there, cover it over, put the rest of the compost in there now, and in, like I say, 3 or 4 weeks that will be completely composted down. And then once before you plant seeds, you can give it another mix with a shovel, with a spade or a fork. Just give it a once over. But that is pretty good to go now. And what a way to use your kitchen waste, even if you're putting it in one of your little composters that the councils take away. It's still got to be taken somewhere and composted and bagged and delivered. This is straight to the horse's mouth, and it's a great way to get energy from the food that you've already eaten and would be throwing away. So really good, and it seems to be working. And what I've seen online, I'm no expert by any means, but what I've seen online is this tends to work, and as long as you leave it and give it enough time to rot down and keep mixing it in, you'll be fine. So thanks for watching, guys. A little bit of a different tangent, that video, but I thought I'd share it with you. Cheers.